I need to get in shape before I start training with you.
God, I've heard this one so many times in my career. I've heard it hundreds of times in the last 30 plus years. That one it never really makes any sense to me, but I literally hear it all the time. Well, I'm not in good enough shape to work with you. Give me a few months to get ready.
We are about to launch.
Truth Not Trends. What's going on, everybody? I'm here at TNT HQ, Oakland, California, with my partner in crime, Jesse Schmidt.
Truth Not Trends. What's going on, everybody? Hey.
Ho.
My name is Jesse Schmidt. His name is Liam Bauer.
That's right. He knows my name.
He's been a trainer for over 34 years.
He's been a trainer for almost 2,000 days. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's damn close.
1,898 days. And everybody, this is the podcast where we help you maximize your strength as safely
and efficiently
as possible. Today, we have a solo round.
Coming
to you about overcoming the top 5 objections to personal training. These are the 5 things you're going to hear over and over and over from your potential clients. This is going to be valuable for you to listen to if you are selling the training or if you're the one thinking about buying the training as well. Things for you to consider. But before we get into that, we want to talk to you about the Harambe system.
Harambe system, the coolest in-home band-based strength training system in the universe. I haven't actually explored the total universe, but I'm pretty confident if it's not the best in the universe, it's in the top 5, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there might be another planet out there that's almost as good, but probably not, because it was created by our friend Khalid Bourabea, aka Boo Robbie, and he is a PhD in applied mathematics, as well as the creator and designer of the Harambe system. Again, high quality products made in America, stainless steel bar, high molecular weight plastic, a patent pending sling system that allows you to load the bands extremely efficiently. They can be stackable. You can do every type of barbell exercise you can imagine using that system. It's portable. It is compact. It is safe. It loads the muscles effectively. You can literally take it anywhere. Do it in your apartment. Do it in the park. Do it on top of a park bench table in Central Park, New York City.
Most importantly, it helps you build sexy, rippling muscles.
Whoa, I like that. We know bands are good for that.
That's right. We also want to tell you about Low-Cal Foods Cali. So while you're training at home on your Harambe system, building your rippling muscles, make sure you're fueling those muscles and your body with these delicious, homemade,
nutritious,
pre-prepared, microwave-ready meals from Low-Cal Foods Cali. These guys, you can customize meals, anything you like.
No cooking required.
My personal favorite is the turkey, ground turkey and zucchini, delicious sauce. High protein, fuels the gains.
They are yummy, quick and easy to eat, compact, delicious. They live up to their name, low-cal, but they have high nutrition value. That's what it's all about. We're all about the meat and veggies around here, so we get them every week.
That's right. So you can customize them yourself, or you can pick from their pre-made options. Delicious either way. Make sure when you sign up, you use the discount code TNT Strength 5 to get 5% off your order. Check out Low-Cal Foods Cali.
And don't forget that we also have a TNT discount at Harambe System. When you buy your swag at Harambe System, type in TNT on your way out and get 15% off anything in the Harambe System store.
And now enjoy this solo round with Liam and Jesse on the top 5 objections to personal training and how to overcome them. We're talking about the 5 top objections to personal training.
5 objections to personal training.
So you're running a personal training studio, strength training studio, and you got those warm leads coming in hot and ready out of the oven, and now they're in front of you and they're not so sure.
They're not so sure.
They've got some objections.
Are we talking about people who are trainers and overcoming these objections? Or are we just talking about people who are thinking about training but have objections?
That's a good question. Well, we can talk about both sides of it. I think that's it. I think that's a good idea. So, all right, this is one, especially in the high intensity training niche, we hear and we love to hear, which is, I don't have enough time to train. I mean, this is why we do what we do. You know, at the TNT Strength Studio, our clients only do 2 30-minute workouts per week, right? And so some clients even do just 1 30-minute workout per week. And even within those 30 minutes, we encourage them to get through their workout as efficiently as possible. So maybe it only takes them 20 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. So, you know, literally, I mean, you could be doing 2 workouts totaling 30 minutes per week. And that's all the resistance training you do. I mean, for myself personally, we just put a video of Liam and Taylor putting me through a workout on Instagram. It was 10 exercises, you know, 1 set to failure per exercise. And I finished the workout in 10 minutes.
That's right.
You just can't beat that. And actually, you can go back and listen to our podcast episode with Brian Murray from Vive. I mean, he's training some clients 5 minutes per month. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And the reality is that time should never be the objection for anyone. It's about the quality, not the quantity. When you know what to do and how to do it, time is never an issue. We often will talk about, you know, there's 168 hours in a week. We all have the same amount of time available to us. The reality is you crunch the numbers and take out time for meals, travel, work, talking to your partner, anything you can imagine. There's still time left over to work out in everybody's schedule because we're talking about less than 1% of that week.
We are. So from the client side, if their objection is, I don't have enough time, then they probably don't understand what the training actually entails, right? So if you are this person deciding to, you know, go get some training, understand what you're in for. Are you going to be training at a box gym that wants you to train 6 times a week? Because if that's the case, then you probably are going to be spending, you know, 6 hours training plus all the commuting and all the getting ready and warming up and cooling down. So you're probably talking 6 to 10 hours a week, you know? And it's definitely possible to do all of your resistance training in a much shorter period of time. If you're on the studio or trainer side of things, you need to elucidate why it is going to be much shorter. And so specifically, if we're cutting out all that additional volume and just doing 1 single set per exercise to muscular failure, that client is going to get all the benefits of doing almost any amount of volume in that much shorter period of time. Maybe they get, you know, let's say you only got 95% of the value from just doing a single set to failure, but you chopped out 90% of the extra time you were spending to do that exercise. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you know, there's always research coming out, and a lot of that research will tip towards the idea that a little bit more volume frequency may have some benefits, but it never is checking out. It's never comparing it to how much more time it takes. So there's been some great studies done where, you know, it might show that, you know, doing slightly more stuff gets you slightly more benefit. But the reality is the time element of it is often 3, 4, 5 times as much. So the efficiency wins out for most of us. If you can get 90% of the benefit and it takes you 1/3 the time or less, you know, a quarter of the time, it's just not worth adding for most people, right? Unless you're one of those people who just wants to live in the gym, you know, more power to you.
Right.
But most of us have busy, busy lives.
The next objection that you hear a lot is, I can't afford it. And, you know, for those of us who do operate in the high intensity training niche, we hear this less often, I think, because most people are pricing themselves as a premium service, right? Or they're competitive with other prices, but they're toward the higher end. And so people are going to self-select out before they actually come to your studio and they take advantage of the free consultation or whatever you offer. But every once in a while, you know, you do have somebody who is going to say this. And really what they're saying most of the time is, the translation is, I don't see the value in this yet. I don't understand what the value of it is. And so our job from the trainer side is to help them understand that this is an investment that they're making on the front end, right? So whether it's, you know, the client is paying for a package up front, or if it's more of an ongoing monthly or weekly cost, we need to help them understand that we're the benefits of the training that they're going to be receiving. We, especially in the high intensity training niche, have so much regard for all of the teachers that we have. And so even if a client were to come train with you on a temporary basis, if they were really engaged with the process, they would be walking away at the end of that. Let's say they spent 1 or 2 or 3 months training, which, in the client life cycle to most of us probably seems pretty short. But if they really were engaged with that process and they trained, once or twice a week, they would have a great foundation for technique and an index of exercises and how to structure a program. And then they could go take that and do things on their own if they need to. If you're on the client side and you're thinking about starting a personal training program and you just don't think you can swing it, figure out, how do you work it in? Maybe what's on the menu at that business is training once or twice, or again, maybe at the box gym, they're trying to sell you at, 6 times a week. But what can you actually swing? I mean, I trained a Starbucks barista for 6 months when we were working in our box gym previously. All right. I trained her once every other week, and we worked out a payment plan because she was committed to the training. So that's the thing, is don't necessarily feel like you have to be locked into whatever's on the menu. If you understand the value of the training that you're going to be receiving and you know that you want to do it, then you'll figure out a way. If you don't understand the value, and if the person taking you through that consultation has not demonstrated the value of what they're offering, then it's not going to be a priority for you. So it's in everybody's best interest to make sure that the value is completely understood, because the client walks away with a great skill set and great results from the training. The business walks away with a new client. Everybody's happy.
There we go.
Number 3 is, it's a funky one. It's kind of the opposite of number 1. We ran into this at the box gym a little bit more. I like training and I want to spend more time training. Liam, what do we do with these people?
Yeah, I mean, again, we know for a fact that people train better when they have a coach, right? So there's a couple things you can think about. If we're coming from the practitioner side, maybe you're one of these places that, if you're in the hit niche and you specialize in the big 5 once a week, you could honestly, I feel, be doing yourself a disservice. Are you going to tell the person, sorry, you can't train with us more than once a week? Maybe you should be open to letting someone train more often. We actually 99% of the time train people twice a week, but we occasionally get people who want to train 3 times a week. We don't say no to those people. We find a way to make it work. It's okay. The other thing is that you shouldn't be discouraging them from doing stuff on their own, right? If you have convinced them very sincerely of the value of what you offer and they've bought into that, which is awesome. And let's say they are choosing to train with you once a week and you're doing it effectively, they're working hard, you're tracking the progress, you're seeing results, and they say, I want to do more. Find a way to help them do that. It's not a bad thing. And make it clear, as long as it's not interfering with their progress with you, you're fine with it. I create programs for other people to do on their own. They can go to some people like to belong to even more gyms. Sometimes it's not the money object. Maybe they belong to a regular gym and they still come see you, right? It's okay. And so just find a way to help them achieve their goal of being more active. Don't discourage it. And even if it's more strength training, find a way for them to be able to incorporate it that won't interfere with what you're doing. And if you can do that, you're just supporting their long-term process, and they're just going to feel better about it.
Yeah, I think this one really boils down to being a good listener, right? If a person tells you, I want to train 4 times a week, how do I do that? Your answer shouldn't be, well, you don't train 4 times a week. You train twice a week, and we're going to do it my way, right? Like, if a person has it set in their mind, a lot of people will say, I don't really know what to do. You tell me what to do. And in that scenario, we can say, okay, well, we recommend 2 full body workouts a week. Let's do that. And most people will say yes, right? But every once in a while, you get one of these people that says, I want to train 3, 4, however many times a week. And it's our job to figure out how to fit that mold in that scenario. If you try to change a person's mind and they're resistant to that, because you might be able to change their mind, but I think more times than not, a person's gonna just kind of nod their head and go, yeah, okay. And they're gonna ignore what you said and walk away thinking you're an idiot because you didn't listen to them, and you should have.
Yeah, on the other side of that, I've actually seen, and I've literally witnessed people coming to a trainer sincerely and genuinely wanting to learn, But people have ideas of things that they like, things that they don't like. You have to recognize that as well. And I've heard trainers be like, "Oh, you're not going to squat and deadlift and do all that." Well, then I can't work with you, right? I can't work with you because you're not willing to hear what I have, because if you're not deadlifting and squatting, you're not working out, right? That's a mistake, in my opinion. You got to meet them where they are. So, a lot of HIIT people are going the opposite. They're like, well, we do machines. What if the person wants to be able to do it? Well, if you don't have the capacity, you literally don't have the equipment, you don't have the ability, you don't have the knowledge, it might behoove you to recommend them to train with a different style of coach, or tell them that you can help them build a foundation of these patterns, right? Pushing and pulling and all that kind of thing. Help them understand why those things are just as valuable. But, sometimes you have to not be afraid to pass people off to another place. I've literally had people come and go, if you want, we don't do Olympic weightlifting, for instance. If someone wants to learn Olympic weightlifting, we're not the place to go. We can refer them to a great coach. And if that's their passion, more power to it. If they want to supplement it, they could work with us and get it real strong. And they could still go do the technical stuff with another type of coach. So there's lots of ways to do it, but you should never be in a position where you're just turning people away if you can avoid it.
Right. And on the business side of things, if you don't have any dumbbells in your personal training studio, and people are constantly new potential clients are constantly asking to do dumbbell workouts, you might want to think about getting a pair of dumbbells. So the next objection is, I need to get in shape before I start training with you.
God, I've heard this one so many times in my career.
Man.
I've heard it hundreds of times in the last 30 plus years. That one it never really makes any sense to me, but I literally hear it all the time. Well, I'm not in good enough shape to work with you. Give me a few months to get ready.
Right. Yeah, because you've trained professional athletes. I gotta get ready before I come train with you. So let's start with on the client side. Like, what's the translation? Like, what is this actually? If somebody says I need to get in shape first, what are they actually saying? I think, to me, they're saying, like, I don't really feel comfortable enough with you yet. I don't feel emotionally safe yet to make this decision. And so for me, this, again, so much of it comes back to listening and responding to our, new clients' requests. One thing we do at TNT Strength is when we enter most of the time we talk with people on the phone, right? They walk in the door, or we talk with them on the phone, and we take down their information. Once they're input into our system, they automatically get sent out our PAR-Q and waiver. And so about half the time, when they actually show up for the free consultation, they have already filled out our waiver. And if they haven't, then we, go through it with them. We go through the PAR-Q with them on the spot. And so we get to that, like, that is a rapport building activity. It's really great when people do fill out that PAR-Q ahead of time, because we can reference it as we're talking with them and say things like, I saw you mention the knee replacement that you had 6 months ago. How's that feeling? Or, I saw, that you're taking this medication. Does that affect you in your workouts? Those sort of things are an indicator that you have taken the time and care to learn about the person that's in front of you, and people appreciate it. There's no doubt.
Another thing to think about too is, you should not be in a position where you're ever telling people no. When they tell you they have a goal, or they have if someone comes into our studio and goes, do you guys do functional training? Right? We say, yes, all the training that we do is functional, right? Do you guys do whatever? Can you help me achieve X? The answer should always be yes, unless you genuinely don't think you can do it. But if you're a solid, proficient, practitioner, that anything you do to help them get stronger is going to transfer to almost everything else, right? More strength transfers to so many things. And then if it's a skill-based thing, you just encourage them to keep working on the skill. And if it's general fitness, then you already know that what you're doing is going to have a huge impact.
Right. And that's the key right there. What you do has a huge impact. This person putting off starting until they get in good shape is only delaying the results that they came there to get in the first place. So this is where we need to be not pushy, but just tenacious and curious, right? We ask, you can ask some probing questions, but it is in everybody's best interest that they start, because they're just delaying the results.
Hey, what are those guys doing here?
Whenever I feel like I'm stalling out on my bench press, I know I need a new strength curve.
Whether you're stalling out on the road or stalling out in the gym, you need something with great engineering.
That's right. And
So
I
look
want
for the pendulum.
pendulum,
Pendulum.
not just your average strength machines.
No, they have smooth strength curves.
Amazing rigidity.
And did we mention the engineering's fantastic?
That's right. Not to mention, they come in cool colors.
Like red.
And silver. Well, that was kind of weird. What was that all about? Back to the interview.
And that leads us to our last of the top objections that people give, which is, I'm just not ready yet. And you hear some different versions of this. Sometimes people say, they need to talk with their spouse, or they didn't bring the right credit card, or they need to do this, they need to do that, but they're wishy-washy, when it comes to actually making the investment and starting their personal training program. This is a funny one, right? Because in this scenario, I'm imagining this person is actually physically there in front of you. I guess it's possible that you're listening to this episode and you're an online trainer, you're an online coach. So maybe you're on a Zoom call or a FaceTime or something like that. But this person, whoever they are, has taken time out of their schedule to show up and meet with you. So there's genuine interest, at least on some level, training with you. And just like with the previous objection, it is in their best interest, as it's in yours, to get them to start training today, because they're here. It's going to justify everybody's time. This is where you can ask what and how questions, right? What would make you feel more comfortable starting a training program today? What and how questions, that might not be the best example right there, but what and how questions get the gears turning in somebody's mind. If you ask somebody a yes or no question, you get a dead stop in the conversation and the flow just ends, right?
Yeah, for sure. Another thing to remember is, you may have ideas, right? We all think we know what's best for everyone, what's best for the clients, but if they're choosing any option, if they've chosen any option, some places train 3 times a week, and the guy or gal really only wants to go once or twice a week. Some people like us, we steer people towards twice a week, but they really only want to go once a week. If they're making a choice from your menu, then that is the right choice. And you're just like, great, let's get started, right? Like, you should be 100% supportive of whatever that choice is, even if it isn't to you the optimal one for this person, right? They're still there. They're still choosing to be involved. You think 2 times is better, but they're like, hey, 1 time is what's good for me for right now. You're like, fantastic, let's do it, right? Get them going. Chances are they will upgrade, right, as they go. You're gonna, they're gonna recognize the value. We have many people start with once and end up going up to twice. And as I said, some people want to go up to 3 times a week, and that's like on the secret menu, right? It's less frequent that people start with twice and go down to 1, unless it's because they've gotten so strong they need that recovery, right? But usually that's the way it works.
Some people do genuinely take a little bit longer to make a decision, right? So if a person's in front of you and they're the type of person that just doesn't make decisions right on the spot, then you just have to ask the simple question, okay, great. Well, when can I circle back with you on this?
Yeah.
And that is one of those sort of barometer questions about, how seriously are they actually thinking about this? If they say, I don't know, I'll get back to you.
Right.
And they're probably not a serious prospect. But if they say, yeah, why don't you, if it's Friday, why don't you call me on Monday? Let me take the weekend to think about it. Then this person is genuinely thinking about it.
Yeah, we had that exact scenario happen just within the last few weeks. With a guy came in, wanted to wait, asked us to call him on Monday. I called him on Monday, and I don't think he may have not even been expecting me to follow up, but I did follow up. And I said, hey, you asked me to call you on Monday. Here I am. And he signed up right there. He's like, great, put me on the schedule, All
right. So this is kind of, there's some different sales philosophies out there, but I think we definitely subscribe to, being more on the pull sales side rather than on the push sales. That doesn't mean that we're not persistent. And you need to keep your word. If you say you're going to follow up on a certain day, follow up on that day, because people will follow through. Our ego wants us to close with them right there. It doesn't always happen. And I mean, we have other examples too. I mean, we brought on some clients this year who got in touch with us at the end of 2021. So they first reached out to us in like the fourth quarter 2021 at some point, and we kept having an email interaction. I sent them several emails, didn't even get a response from them, and then one day they just showed up at the studio and signed up. two twice a week clients showed up just out of the blue. And it was because I had kept in contact with them. Right? I had kept that rapport. So better, in my opinion, to, just stay in contact with somebody and let them decide when the right time to start is, and don't lose them, rather than pushing super hard, maybe offending them or just putting them off and they decide to go elsewhere or just give up on training altogether.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. There's how you overcome the top 5 personal training objections.
Boom, baby. What's up, people? Thank you so much for listening to this episode of
Truth, Not Trends.
That's right here at TNT Strength Headquarters, Truth Not Trends.
Please, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate, and review us on whatever platform you're listening to us on. And don't forget to share with a friend.
You can find us on the web at tntstrength.com.
That's right, TNT Strength now coming to you in person at 5255 College Avenue in Oakland, California. You can call the studio 510-768-5421. You can also text us at 855-796-9905.
Or shoot us an email at contact@tntstrength.com. And whatever you do, stay off of that stupid blue bubbly bosun.
5 top objections. Top 5 objections.
Donuts. Oh, thanks for listening to TNT.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
We are professionals, you bastards.